Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I'm doing the update to eyes. This was created by the gorgeous Debbie. I'll have her link down below and you should go and check out the other videos that other people have done in this series because it's great fun. It's lovely to see what palettes they're working on, what they're enjoying, what they're not enjoying. I find that just as interesting and helpful as what people are loving. So yeah, what you're supposed to do is just very simply enjoy your eyeshadows. I'm not doing Pan Those Eyeshadows, Project Level Up, No Pan Left Behind, any of those because I was just struggling with it. So I have been watching this on Deb's channel and on like Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty and Jenn from Project Beauty, loads of different people's videos on it, and I thought, do you know what, yeah, that's the way I want to go for now anyway, at least until I really get a feel for my whole collection, what I'm enjoying, what I'm not enjoying, what needs to go, what's staying, and then maybe look at trying to pan some eyeshadows. So that's what we're going to do. So what will I do first? I will do the palettes that have rolled in. I will do, or that I was working on last month. Then I'll talk about the palettes I've rolled in for this month, and then we will get to the giveaway. We're excited. Anyhow, right. First up is the Curly Bible ABH palette. This is what it looks like on the inside, and I'm considering letting this one go. I just don't feel like, I forgot to get my notes out, I don't feel like I need it in my collection. I think maybe at the start of next year I might do like a chopping block series, kind of a bit like what Sofie Alexander does on her channel, where she kind of goes through her collection and sees, you know, a palette that she's thinking about getting rid of. Can she dupe the shades she likes in other palettes? And I think with the amount of palettes I have, that's, you know, quite a possibility. I've used it. I've used it 5 times in the last month. What colours don't I like is probably easier. So I don't like this shade Bible. It's like a cool toned brown of some sort that it's not really to my taste, I suppose. And just it didn't blend out that nicely, I didn't find. Libra, which is this shade here, was very chunky. So it's really sticking to my finger. And you know, chunky when you, what is going on with my lighting? What about if I put you over there? Oh, that's better. Like it's an okay shade, but just doesn't do anything for me. Do you know, it doesn't excite me. I want stuff that I'm excited to use. I don't like Jode or Jodie, which is this. I don't like OA either. These two blue shades, don't like them. I'm just not a blue eyeshadow person. That OA is just glitter, crumbly, chalky, just not pretty glitter. Like I know the swatches look, you're going, God Ruth, what's wrong with them? Like, I really don't know what I'm doing with my lighting here. Is that better? I don't know. Oh dear. And then I don't like Steve either. Where's Steve? Oh yeah, the red. Just not a shade I wear. I don't wear red. Aura is okay, even though it's a bit of a red. But like that Steve shade is just so dry as well. Just it's not pleasant to use, and because it's so dry, I find that it doesn't go on nicely and it doesn't blend nicely. So I don't like those 5 shades. That's 5 out of 12 shades that I don't like. The rest of them I like. I don't love. There's no shade in this palette that I love. The most boring one in the palette, probably this one, is the one that I like the most because it is actually the perfect eyebrow kind of, or setting shade. You know why I'm swatching it, you're not going to be able to see it, but it's just, it brightens without being dazzling. So the more I talk about that, the more that I think this palette may be leaving my collection. Following it out the door, there's a bit of a theme here, is the Jackie Eye. I wanted this palette for so long. So long. And again, first of all, look, it's too... This is a fantasy self palette for sure, because I don't wear dark eyeshadow a lot. It just doesn't suit me. I have small hooded eyes, and dark shades for me make them look even more small and hooded. Excuse me now while I just dab the tears away, because it's just so emotional. But yeah, I just, again, I use this one 6 times actually. And again, the colours that I like, some of the browns, some of the greens, some of the golds kind of shades, the purples, I have them. I know I have them in other palettes. And my thought process when I chose these 2 palettes last month is I thought, you know what, actually they'll work really well together. They'll complement each other. They'll complement each other. You know, you have the lighter shades in the Carly to go with the darker shades in the Jackie, but I just think they're going to go, guys. Do I even want to do a chopping block with them? I don't think I do, you know. I'm decluttering these 2 palettes. If anybody would like them, reach out to me and I'll stick them in the post, because I'm not going to, you know, when I go and open my drawer of palettes, I'm not going to go, I want to use that. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to open that drawer and go, you're the one for me. Next up is the Alter Ego Artemis palette. What I have discovered with this palette, I had been wanting to try Alter Ego for forever and a day. I mean, for absolute donkeys. I've been wanting to try Alter Ego, but also this colorway, because it was the Natasha Denona palette that always spoke to me. I just thought the color story was sublime, and I don't know why. Is it the warmth? Is it the greens? Is it the grunge? I don't know what it is about it, but I've always enjoyed it. But I feel, again, with this, the colors that I like in it, I have in the Antidote palette from Be Perfect, and other palettes, to be fair. Now, I'm not ready to depart with this yet, because I only used this one, how many times? I only used it twice. Something happened this month with my eyes, and I don't know whether it was my eye makeup remover, my facial cleansing balm, or eyeshadows. I'm not sure. So I ended up not wearing eyeshadow a lot, because I was trying to kind of heal up my eyes a bit. So this is going to stick around. Like I said, I only used it twice, so that's not enough to form an opinion, you know, I don't think. But out of those 2 uses, and I have 2 other Alter Ego palettes to use yet that I bought at the same time, it's kind of cured my desire to buy more, which is fine, you know. You don't know until you try. So yeah, I won't lie, it wasn't a great eyeshadow month, but what can you do? Last but not least was the Lois Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld. And to be completely frank and honest, I bought this for the design. To me, this is beautiful. This is as beautiful as like Angie's Hella palette. You know, it just, the artwork in it is stunning, and the amount of work that went into it, I appreciate. And the colour story is quite lovely as well. But again, what was I look at all the dark shades, guys. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I just watched a video by ErinTaylor. I'll link it below. And it's like she reached into my brain and pulled out all the reasons that I overconsume. I was like, oh my God, this girl is a witch. She's a witch. Really had me thinking a lot of thoughts, which is good, because that was the purpose of the video. I used this 3 times. Every time was quite nice. The mattes are very easy to blend. The shimmers are grand. I'm not going to say they would, you know, set my world on fire, because they don't, but they're nice. You know, they're not completely, like that green barely, like that's the green up here is what I'm putting down there, and I really have to build it up, and even still it's a bit insipid. So it's quite a muted palette, I would say. So if you're not into really intense pigments, then this is a great palette, because you know you're not gonna overdo it, I don't feel like. And the color story is beautiful for this time of year. But again, tell me that I don't have all these shades in the Antidote palette. Let me pull out the Antidote palette just to show you what I'm talking about, in case you didn't see my last video. So this is the Antidote palette. And I had this first. So tell me that looks that I did with this couldn't have been done. And then some with that palette. Same with the Artemis. It's gotta stop, guys, it's gotta stop. New year, new me for sure this year. I like it, I enjoy it, I don't love it, but I will keep it. And sorry you can hear that, I have the windows open because again, it's 12 degrees, it's November. I will play with it more, and I think I will enjoy the looks that I create with it. I don't think I'll buy more from Lois Cosmetics because it's a bit expensive, and I understand why, because the artwork is beautiful, but it's expensive delivery wise, and I have to pay duties because it's coming in from England, and England are no longer part of the euro, so they don't even care about me. Nobody thought of Ruth when they decided to do that. Okay, all right, sure. So those are the 4 I was working on last month. Words, they just get stuck in there and then they don't come out properly. So now let's look at the 4 that I've rolled in for this month. Should we take off the swatches? Probably wise. We're going to use the one that I think was bothering my eyes to take off the swatches on my hand. This is the Essence Remove Like a Boss. I'm not saying that this was the thing that caused the issue, but it was one of 3 things that was a possibility. So we're giving it a break. I've gone back to my tried and true Garnier Express 2-in-1 eye makeup remover. It's the best. I shouldn't have strayed from it. I think it was Tati I saw talking about the Essence one. I thought, oh yeah, sure, I'll give it a go. I was at an Essence stand. So, story of my life. So, what have I picked out for November? First up is the Sultry palette. I think it's a wonderful time of year for this. Towards the end of the month, I'll probably be going out a little bit and feeling a bit Christmassy and that, and I'll want something like this to wear. And I think this will, you know, there's lots of beautiful shimmery, see, these feel very dry. I don't know, am I just spoiled now with indie brands, and they feeling so smooth and lovely texture to them. But they are quite lovely. Now I do find that there is quite a lot of shades that are duplicated. You know, they're just a hint of a tone different to each other, like the kind of browny tones and the greeny tones and that. But yeah, I want to play with it. Who knows? Maybe this one will be going too. You never know, but I don't think so. There's something different about this one. So yeah, that's one. Also coming in is the Coloured Rain Power Palette. Again, November I think is a lovely month for purples and berries and warm tones, and that packaging. How are we going to do this? Maybe back here. There we go. So you've got purples and berries and, you know, lovely shades like that in this palette. You've got a lovely duochrome here in a kind of a white shade. It looks kind of purpley, pinky, you know, just really, really pretty. You can kind of see it there. It's a nice palette, but it's getting older now, so I kind of need to use it and see, is it still as good as I remember? Is it getting a bit patchy and dry and things like that? Is the formula changing? Those kind of things. But it is a lovely palette, and it's my only Coloured Rain one now that I have, I think, and it is a brand that I liked their quality. Also, see, this is what I'm talking about now. This palette, and I'm like, oh, so excited to play with it. That's how I want to feel about all my palettes in my collection. This is the Sample Beauty Equalizer Volume 2 palette, and this is just stunning. I mean, you've got your kind of mustardy, orangey, pinky purples, you know, just everything. You've got a stark white, a black, black shimmer, a white shimmer, you know, they just covered all the bases with this, I feel. And you have varying tones that you can create a full look in a column, you know, going from lightest to darkest in shimmers and in mattes, and it's just stunning. It's stunning. And this is what I mean now, when I put my fingers into this palette, just the difference in how the shimmers feel. They're just sublime. Like, I mean, I think that tells me a lot, doesn't it? About the two. I'm right to declutter those two because they just don't make me feel that way at all. At all. So what's the point in keeping them? What's the point? There is no point. But yeah, so this palette is coming in and so love it. I think it'll go nice with the coloured rain one as well. And then lastly is another, just, this is a fantastic all-rounder in your collection. I feel it's a great staple for me in my collection. I won this from Kana. Actually, she sent me the sultry palette as well. I won this from Kana and Kana's Vanity last year, and I was so excited because I hadn't tried Dollhouse yet, or Blend Bunny. This is Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the Dollhouse palette, and this is what it looks like. And again, I suppose there is a little bit of similarity between the Sample Beauty and this, but this is a bit more muted. And even though these look like blacks all along, they're not. That's a dark brown, a dark purple, a dark green, is it? More of a dark grey, dark plum, dark green, you know what I mean? They're all dark shades of their rose. And you've your lovely light shades up here, and you've your beautiful shimmers down here. And again, the matte in this blend sublimely. They're just beautiful. And oh, the feel. Just the absolute beauty of these shadows. The shimmers are just so pigmented. So shiny. You know what I'm trying to do. Someone. But yeah, so excited to play with this. I haven't had it out in a while. So yeah, and that one is my fourth palette coming in. So before we get to the giveaway, Peak and Pit. Let's put the two Anastasia palettes as my pits, and Peak then is probably this one. But like I said, if I was comparing that to the four in this one, it would probably end up being a pit, you know. But of the four that I had out this month, this is probably my Peak. And that is it. Okay. So excited. So I had to screen record, so I already know who's won. But I had to screen record because I recorded my phone, the tiny decisions, so I should be inputting it here. And as you will see, the winner is... It is cruelty-free panner, Taru. It is you. You have won the Be Perfect Carnival Antidote palette. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get it in the post yet. So as you know, this is what it looks like. And here we go. And if for some reason you missed last month, the reason I didn't like do some big announcement that I was doing a giveaway or anything like that is because I wanted it specifically to go to someone who watches my videos religiously, you know, and watches all the way to the end, and have stuck with me even though I've been very inconsistent this year, and I appreciate it so incredibly much. I just wanted to give back a little bit. So this is going to Taru. Taru, I think you're on Instagram. If you're not, I'm on Facebook as Ruth Foley. I'm on Instagram as Ruth Ann Foley, and I think we're friends on Instagram. Look reach out to me in some way, shape or form so that I can get your address off you and get this in the post. Delighted. Thank you to everyone who answered. And sorry, I'll try and do more in the new year. I might try and do a few more giveaways, see what I can pick up. Those swatches they're just make me happy. There's joy in them, whereas there was no joy in the other ones. you know, I mean, everything here now is just top notch. Right, that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll chat to you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.